to Maypole Farm. It's October 3rd. Up at the animal dealer, I'm going to be doing what I've done previously, leasing an animal trailer off of these guys to move the cows from the pasture to the yard before kind of winter kicks in and they're not going to be grazing anymore. I might have got away with one more month, but I want to mow that field as well. So yeah, if the intro sounds a bit weird, it's because I've just recorded about 4 or 5 minutes of commentary and then realized I had game sound playing through my laptop and was worried that it was coming through the mic. So I'm starting again because, you know, I am truly a professional at this kind of thing. So just giving the grass a quick check, it does look like we should be able to get some sort of cut off of this. So once the cows are moved, I'll bring the mowers, the tedder and the windrower over and we'll get this cut and baled. Little bit of winter feed. So yeah, as I said, we could have probably left the cows here another month, but I did want to get a cut off them. I don't want to be cutting the grass in November. October seems quite late, so yeah. The plan for today was to move the cows, mow this field, and ted and windrow and bale it. Bale the field we cut last time, and then plant and roll both fields that are waiting to be planted. That all took way too long in the end, so this is a 35-minute video, which is kind of pushing the limit of what I want to do for normal videos like this. Don't mention how long the Saxthorpe video was yesterday, okay? Yeah, so normally I wouldn't do a video that's that long. As I said in that video, I find it quite hard to pace those videos. Right, so we brought the kind of, I guess, heifer cows, the young cows, the young cows that were grazing. And originally I intended to put all of them into cowshed 2, which is the one that we're just backing up to. I then realized that there are 12 cows in here that are going to calve over the winter, and there isn't space for 12 calves, so I end up having to, so they're probably 2 months away from calving, maybe 3 at most. So I realized I'm going to have to move at least I think it was like 4 or 5. I need to have space. I've got 9 space and I needed to have 12 space. I decided to move 6 because everything's kind of in multiples of 6, so it made sense in my brain, I think. They've got space for those cows to have their calves now. Yeah. So in the last video, which hasn't actually released yet because I'm nicely ahead on my video recording schedule and editing and voicing, which is the bigger thing normally. I spoke about Glenleithen. I'm not going to go over that yet because I don't know. I haven't seen the comments yet because I'm recording this a couple of days before that video comes out. But by the time we finish this video, we've got 1 field left to plant. Hashtag spoiler alert. I'll do that in November. Then we're pretty much done until spring. So we just got to get some bale stacked. I could get some fertilizer on the grass field, but we're pretty much done until spring. So allowing for the fact that I might end up moving maps, probably the next video will be the last video in this game year before we get to spring. What I'm pondering, and it does depend on the comments, so we're mowing this pasture now. We get a bit of a weird effect around the trough where it can't drop grass, so it drops it as you get out of the area. What I'm thinking, depending on your comments, because I haven't seen them yet, because you haven't seen that video yet, is I might do a video later this week, early next week, where we head over to Glenleithen and look in detail at the farm that I want, plan and probably execute the changes that I want to make, and then work out how much money we will need to purchase that farm and the fields that I want, so that we can come back here see if we can get a mortgage for enough to finance it and keep the land here, so so that I can keep this farm running as well. We'll see. So the reason I put the lights on is I spoke about it earlier when the first version of this commentary. So Maypole has relight in it, which I really like from a playing the game perspective. The mornings look amazing as you get into this time of year, but it can make it quite dark for recording once we're into, you know, kind of autumn, winter. So the video might look a little bit dark. It kind of is what it is, because I did a whole video on mowing last time, or a lot of mowing in the last video. I didn't show too much of the mowing. I forgot to record any of the tedding. I was planning to do some little clips of tedding, and I was just happily tedding away and completely forgot. I was watching or listening to a podcast while I was doing this. I'm recording this Saturday afternoon, which again is unusual for me. So if you're on Discord, you will have seen that the teenager passed her driving test today, and her and Mrs. D have gone around to tell her grandparents because they didn't know, and they've been bugging her about booking a driving test. So they've gone around to surprise them, and I've stayed at home to keep the dogs company, and for half an hour of that I'm going to chat to you guys. And I've completely lost my train of thought now. So yeah, the reason that I was saying it Saturday morning is I was listening to the Linus Tech Tips Wine Show, which is my Saturday morning listening, and I think I got a bit engrossed in one of the topics as I was doing tedding and forgot to record any of it. So you know what tedding looks like anyway. Onto the windrowing now. I was going to get some thumbnails from this work, but I have green tractors and green equipment on a green field, so nah, didn't actually stand out. It was really fun so I had both Oats running again, both of the old Oats, and it was really fun to use these even if they didn't have GPS. It was yeah, enjoyed it. A bit of a faff with the gearbox sometimes, but yeah, it was good fun. You will have seen by now through 2 videos that Saxthorpe is a Deutz farm. I have intentionally made sure that I don't buy the same tractors, and probably on here we won't be buying any more Deutz anyway, because you know we've passed through that decade of farming. We're John Deere at the moment, so yeah. That might change. So there's my Deutz bringing back the baler from DS Agri, and I'm going to send off the this one back up to the yard. That may change when I pass through the next decade. I might switch brands. I don't know. There was actually a class 8450 came up in the sales for 20 odd grand, which was quite tempting because it's like 260 horsepower tractor for 20 grand, 25 grand, something like that. But I didn't like the wheels. It's a Welker Farms version, so it's got American wheels on it. I don't like American wheels, particularly if I'm not in America. So it's actually the one that I used for the sugarcane series. So yeah, actually. So the sugarcane series finished a while ago. I haven't restarted a mini series yet. Do you guys enjoy those? Would you like another one? And if you would, what would you suggest it is on? So it's really weird actually planning my video schedule at the moment, because with the 2 Let's Plays and that's it, recording Let's Play videos for the same series a lot. So both of the series that I have running now, I technically have at this point 2 videos stocked up ready to go, which is quite an unusual situation for me. So I'm the 3 map tours that I've did last week went really well. So when I'm not going to do map tours of every map that releases, that doesn't particularly interest me. What I think I will do is map tours of maps that are interesting for some reason to me, or I think will be interesting for you guys. So what was quite cool is the map tour for Baling Spring made me go, I need to play this map. It's really good. And I'm pretty sure I have decided that so I do a series for the patrons. It's only one video a week, and that series is just coming to an end, the first one of those, and so I think the new one is going to be on Baling Spring. So if you want to see me play on Baling Spring, you could maybe do that. I feel really bad saying that. Anyway, I'm going to say thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members, because you guys are awesome. I appreciate all your support. Yeah, such a nice map. So that map's been out for a while on PC technically, because it's been on the 4D modding website, or Agri website technically, I think it is. I hadn't really looked at it in detail before. I had spoken to Irish Connor because they initially used my geo without permission, but we sorted that out. It was cool. So yeah, I'd never actually looked at it though. So actually looking at it in detail, I'd seen FSG play on it, but I'd not watched any map tours, I don't think, and I'd not really paid much attention to the detail of the map. So yeah, it's really nice. I'm really looking forward to getting started on there. I had said that so on Saxthorpe I'm not doing animals. I will eventually, because we're going to have to buy the cow farm eventually, but it's going to be a while. So on Saxthorpe I'm not doing animals, and my intent was on the new series for the patrons that I wouldn't do animals, but playing on Baling Spring you kind of have to do animals. So I've gone from 3 saves with many animals to 2 saves, and probably on Baling Spring I won't have that many. I'll probably do something similar to this size, I think. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's as someone who doesn't enjoy change, particularly in almost every aspect of my life, playing on Saxthorpe has been really nice. It's a really nice map, really different way of playing for me. I've recorded the videos differently as well, which you will have seen, the first 2 anyway. Not sure if I'll keep that going. I will try, but we'll see. And I'm really enjoying Saxthorpe. I'm really excited to start playing on Baling Spring, and I'm really excited to somehow work Glenleithen into this series, so it's going to be really cool. So I do, as you guys know, really long farm sim series. Greenlands ran for about 14 months. This one has been going for nearly a year already. I think it's at 10 months, something like, I think it was August I started it last year. So I've been playing, and the Froling series, which was what the Patron series map was on, started before that. So all the maps I've been playing for over a year. So apart from the the Ohio mini series, that was partly for that reason, because I wanted to rotate in something different to play. I like playing long series. I like watching long series. That's why I do them. But I'm actually quite excited about all 3 new projects. Now, they are all UK based. Is something I was trying to not do, but I do have one. They're all in different countries technically, so you know, give me that. I had looked at some other European maps for one series, but it's not worked out. So, and you know, I guess in a way I'm changing, but I'm not changing, because I do what I enjoy, and this is what I enjoy. So, I'm attempting, so I did say last time that I was going to lease a separate baler and wrapper, because I like being able to stack the bales together. You probably saw on the other field that I managed to do that mostly successfully, apart from one rolling down the hill. and I'm trying to do it on here as well, so it does mean that I have to wait for the second bale to wrap, but I don't think this is any slower than using the separate baler and wrapper, and it didn't have any cost because DS Agri owned the baler, so, or are leasing the baler, so yeah. Actually, I think I just realised that I didn't swap it when I reactivated the multiplayer server, so I'll have to do that. Anywho, so finishing up the baling, and I'm not going to get these out of the field yet. I might do that off camera. I might do that in the next video. I'm not sure. But yeah, then we'll get on to doing some different field work. So the next target is planting field 16, and field 15 needs a lot of fertilizer, and we've got a lot of slurry. So even with the 2 slurry stores that I added to increase our slurry storage, we are probably 60% full on slurry capacity. So I do think that getting some slurry on the field would be good. That is another job I could do with this field before we go into winter. I could get some slurry on it. But I really want to get a bigger slurry tank. I really can't afford it, because what we need to do next time is get a TMR mixer. I think I'm going to buy it, so that's going to be I think it's about 33,000, the one I've got my eye on, so, which is the one I leased last year. I think I'm going to buy one, and it's about 33,000, so we don't have that at the moment. I could borrow money, I could take money from DS Agri, or hopefully the milk sales at the start of November will cover some of that cost, so that's the hope. I'm curious, because I haven't dug into yet where our big water bill is coming from. We have about an £8 a month water bill. It's obviously the cows, but I'm not sure whether it's the 2 cow sheds or whether it was the cow pasture. They all have automated watering, but it seems like they're using a lot. Now, Maize Plus does use a lot of water, but I think the Night Cloak edit that I'm using uses less water. So yeah, I'm not sure. So that's the baling done. I couldn't quite finish that last bale, so we're just going to send this back over to DS Agri, and I think it's on my tractor. I'm not sure. Yeah, it wasn't. It was on my tractor, so I'm going to need to get that tractor back. But I didn't actually count how many bales I got, but I've got a decent number anyway. So we'll see when we stack them. So I'm going to get the seeder loaded up now. I actually have a big bag of seed, or most of a big bag of seed, and a couple of fur. So I'm going to stick those in the seeder so that we can do. On the oat field is close enough that I'm not going to put slurry on it. Some points are actually over fertilized for oats, so I'm not going to put any slurry on. So we're going to use solid fur on that field. When the Deutz makes it back, we'll get that set up then, spreading slurry on field 15. But yeah, the plan was that we would plant 15 and 16, and I would have then needed to roll both of them. And it's already midday, so I've gone midday, so that's not going to happen, I don't think. Well, I know, because I've already played this, so my brain sometimes, suspension of disbelief and all that. So we're going to get field 16 planted. I think it's 16. Struggle to read the numbers in the mini map. Yeah, we'll get field 16 planted with oats for next year. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to have course play and auto drive slurry spread. So hopefully I can get that to behave. I actually had some issues with it. And mostly me needing to tweak the course. I think it would fill okay, but it would struggle to get out of the fill point. So something that I need to improve, and I think a lot of it is my skill at building auto drive networks. So for 90% of the map, I am using Auto Drive Guy's auto drive network, but obviously this is a custom farmyard, so it doesn't support that. So I had to do all the bits in the farmyard and I'm not brilliant at actually planning out the whole network, so yeah. Auto drive seems to get a little bit confused as it pulls out of the field trigger. Did most of the work, and it's working better than it used to, because you'll see when I start this up, I actually had it set to pull slurry straight out of the pens using the game option, because I couldn't get auto drive to work recently doing this, or auto drive and course plate to work together recently doing this. So just checking how much I need to add. So Oats needs at least 100, I think. I think it was at least 100, so I am going to add 60, because I think on average it's at about 40 or less, so that seems like a good idea. Setting up courseplay first, going to do 4 headlands, so that's plenty of room to turn. Doing smooth corners, we'll fill the corners in when we either do solid for seeding or spray later on, so it's not a problem. I'm going to pull up auto drive, and I had to go check again which mode to use, and we want to be using load mode, and top one we set to the field, which is field 15. I actually end up creating a new point that's at our entrance, because the existing point is up near the original entrance to this field. So, but in theory, that should have been us set up to go. So auto drive kicks in, drives off to the first auto drive point, and then it should set everything going. That's the theory. I hadn't looked to see where the auto drive point was. It makes sense when you think about it that it's up near the original entrance to this field, not the entrance that I have created. So yeah, but you can see 60 kilograms of nitrogen is going to get us to, in some spots, high, but in most spots about where we need to be. And obviously it's going to be much better than it was, you know, our previous years where we were in precise farming. We should do much better now. But you'll see auto drive doesn't swing out far enough and get stuck in the hedge. There we go. Well done, auto drive. So this is when I thought, you know what, I'm going to create a new waypoint and a bit of a loop into the field for doing this kind of job. So obviously, you know, when you're harvesting, you don't want to be having loops cutting into the field unless you know and you pre-harvest those, which is quite often what I will do. So when I create a loop like this, if I want to use it for carting for harvesting, what I'll do is I'll use the combine to open up the area where auto drive would be going before I switch auto drive on. But yeah, we're going to link off of the main network into the field here, because otherwise it's going to go up to the old entrance as well, which we don't particularly want. I do still need to add in paint anywhere, so I can paint the entranceway in. Then we are going to do a 2-way course, so that's a right click on record off of that waypoint. Weirdly, it doesn't actually connect to it, but we'll sort that. That's easy enough to do. So that's just left clicking on each end and then left clicking on the other end until you get a blue line. And then do a nice little loop into the field, and then I'll come back and create a waypoint. So, I don't know if this is the best way to do it, but it seemed to work for me. So again, just joining that up as a 2-way as well, so it you know, auto drive can choose which way it wants to go around the field. I have learned from using auto drive network for this map about how to set things up better, and I'm trying to employ those things that I've learned on Saxthorpe. So yeah, the second video, so yesterday's video on Saxthorpe, was the first one using auto drive on there, and since I recorded that video I've actually done a little bit more prep of auto drive. So you can see it's working now, but auto drive the worker is pulling slurry from one of the cow sheds. I want them to not buy it. Jeez, God, oof, can't afford that. No, I want them to use it from the actual slurry tanker. So the reason it was set like that is because the last time I tried to do Courseplay auto drive slurry spreading, it didn't work. I think Courseplay was not recognizing that the slurry tanker was in fact full. But it does now work this time, so there we go. Off you go, Courseplay and auto drive. Do your work, please. So it's going to drive to that point first, and then it will go pick up where it was on Courseplay when I stopped it. So you can see at the bottom where it's got on the Courseplay HUD, it's going to 0.3 of 735. It amuses me because I do this quite infrequently. I actually usually, before I start doing this, end up going and checking my own tutorial on particularly which mode of auto drive to use. But you can see they're taking big sweeping corners, but that's fine. It means it's not going to get stuck in the corners, and when we seed, we'll either put solid fert in there, or I will spray, let's say, closer to harvest, if we even harvest the field. Who knows? Yes, it's really weird that I'm in a position where, and these videos are coming out only 2 days apart, I guess, that I've got 2 Maypole videos recorded that aren't released yet and voiced. There is a very good chance I'm actually going to record another Maypole video today, because I think I'm going to do the next Saxthorpe one with the live commentary. I'm not sure. I might end up wanting to record it tomorrow. We'll see. At the moment, no, I mention it occasionally because it's a game that I've played for so many years, and it's actually the game that prompted me to start doing YouTube very badly. I'm playing Battle Pirates still. I'm sure there'll come a point where I get bored with it again, which tends to happen. I tend to play it for a few months, get bored, stop. I'm actually nearly 3 months into this return to it, and it's the weekend of what used to be the once a month big event. There now is a something every weekend, but this for me has always been the big monthly event, and I do have quite a few hours to stick into that as well still, so I might not actually record more than 1 or 2 more farm sim videos this weekend. So auto drive is now picking up the Oats and running it back down to the farm to fill up, hopefully. Spoiler alert, it got stuck. They didn't actually show any of the faffing with auto drive. I know sometimes you guys like that, but I didn't want, this could have easily been an hour-long video, which some of you probably really enjoy, but I find it really hard to do an hour-long commentary. So, which is weird because like the Saxthorpe videos have been long, but I find it easier if I have the time. I find it easier to talk for longer when I'm just playing, but I find it harder to pace the video for a farm sim video. So some of the Timberborn videos are quite long, but that's just me solidly playing the game for that amount of time. If I did that with farm sim, all of the videos would be 2 hours long, and there would be less of them because I wouldn't be able to record as many. So yeah, it's why there's a length discrepancy between Timberborn and farm sim. I know some of you don't like Timberborn videos. That's fine. It's my channel. I will play the games I enjoy. You can just scroll past them. It's magical, You don't. I learnt yesterday, I think it was, that you don't have to watch every video that YouTube recommends to you. So that's kind of cool. If you don't like Timberborn videos, don't click on them. But if you ever wondered why there's a discrepancy in the length, it is because, when I play farm sim to record a video, I probably play for at least 2 hours worth of time. Not necessarily in one block, but at least 2 hours for most videos. And then that gets condensed into, 30 odd minutes of video. You will have seen from the Saxthorpe ones, I'm really bad at pacing that, and they end up like an hour long. And the problem with an hour long farm sim video is most people will only watch about 10 minutes of it. So that's why I make them shorter. And that's why I don't do videos where I typically talk as I play, because I can't fit as much in. And I do like things to move forwards every video. So, you know, you'd have seen on Saxthorpe, it's taken me 2 videos, and the second video I had some pretty hefty jump cuts in it to get a field harvested and baled and set the farm up. But let's ignore that, you know. I could have quite easily, the second video, that could have quite easily just been me finishing harvesting that field and not doing the baling. And so, yeah. I don't think that works. I think it becomes too slow. So that's why I do them. And you know, it works better for me. So there are only so many times in the week that I can play and record at the same time. So that's why I do the way I do. So done headland with the oats. We've got automatic fertilizer application running. I did ponder, and obviously I haven't, adding in Proseed onto here. Probably what I'm going to do, so I think I'm running Proseed on Saxthorpe, but I think when I move across to Glenleithen, I will probably add in Proseed. So we get some tram lines going on. I think that'll be good. They always look good, so yeah, I think probably I'll add it in there. I'm not sure. I might keep it to one save. It makes seeding much more mentally intensive. So yeah, there goes the Deutz to refill again. It's one of the things that I love about having something running on auto drive in the background, is you occasionally see the other tractor. It's the nice thing when I'm actually playing this and there's multiplayer stuff going on. It's really cool if it's nearby and get to see things happening. So yeah, Deutz is nearly finished spreading the slurry. And I finished the seeding and got into rolling. So I realised that this video was getting very long. So yeah, wanted to not have a video that was too long for me to voice over. I don't know if you guys can tell. By the time I get to about 25 minutes, because it's continuous talking, I'm struggling. So yeah, it's like with I haven't been streaming very often lately. I've done sort of every other. We've done 2 of the Terra Life ones. I did start doing some of just me playing and streaming. Wow, that was a smooth edit there, buddy. Nice work. But I haven't done any recently, and that's a whole bunch of reasons. But one of the things that's nice when I do the Terra Life streams is there's 2 or 3 of us on there, so we share the talking. I generally don't like dead air in videos, so that's why I tend to talk continuously. But finishing up the rolling, I didn't show very much of it. Next video we'll get the other field seeded and rolled, and maybe I'll show a whole bunch of rolling, who knows. It is a job that I do purely to remove the needs rolling indicator from the map. The gain in yield is negligible. So, and from a realism point of view, actually, I used to say, you know, how often is it done, but actually so many farmers roll their fields after they seed that I'm not doing that anymore, particularly after I saw one of the farmers here locally rolling a field to seed it. So anyway, I'm done. The Deutz is done and heading back to the farm, so we're going to get this all put away. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, click the like button. Any comments, questions or suggestions, stick them below, and I will see you next time on Maypole Farm.